Talmud tells us that diagnosis is half the cure. What this means, particularly in a spiritual sense, is that when we become aware of something that might be a challenge or something that's good or bad, the awareness means we're halfway there. It's easier to achieve, easier to accomplish. It's when we don't even notice or aren't aware of a challenge or we aren't aware of something important that we're supposed to do, that's when it becomes much more difficult to achieve or to overcome. This idea is hinted in this week's Parsha, where the Torah begins with a promise of reward as a result of or because of keeping God's commandments. And the expression the Torah uses is Eikev tishma'un, because you will listen. And the Talmud tells us that the word Eikev also means heal, because what this means, figuratively speaking, is the Torah is referring specifically to mitzvot, to good deeds, or to things which we tend just to trample upon because we don't notice them, because they seem insignificant, and yet they're important. And in Tehillim, in Psalms, we find a verse where King David, as explained by the Talmud, says to God, he's not worried about the big things. He's not worried about those things that are really wrong. He's not worried about the transgressions that are explicit and obviously negative. Those he knows he can keep away from. What he's worried about is the small things. He's worried about those things that people tend to trample upon. He's worried maybe he missed them. Maybe he didn't engage in them properly. Maybe he didn't stay away from them the way he should have. And that's such an important lesson. Let's take an example. Everyone knows, or everyone would agree, most normal people at least would agree, that violence is wrong. To hurt someone physically is wrong. To damage their property in a significant way is completely wrong. Yet sometimes we might say something to someone that is hurtful. We might say something to someone that compromises their dignity or is offensive, especially to people who are close to us. We might just use words freely and not even stop to think that perhaps that damage could be even worse than physical damage or tangible damage. So the lesson of diagnosis is half the cure, is to become aware of the things that are important. To become aware, for example, that words, good words, positive communication, simple things we say to people, a simple good morning, a simple smile, can be unbelievable, and at the same time, a simple, snide, sarcastic remark to someone can be so deeply offensive and actually be damaging or compromising to their human dignity. Eikev tishma'un, when we take into account the heal mitzvot, the heal issues, that's when we achieve greatness and we become deserving of God's reward. Have a wonderful day and a good Shabbos.